Hello, and welcome back, most illustrious members of the Detail. I'm your host D, also known as MTF Doom, and today we're doing part 2 of rating your custom cards. I hope you enjoy. Just quick before we get into it, if you find this content engaging, I usually say elucidating, enlightening, or enriching, but this might not be that. This might just be fun. Sometimes my content is just fun. If you things that are just fun, if you find this just fun, you should subscribe. You should do it. It's real easy. It helps me a lot. It makes me feel good about myself. All right, thanks. So today we got custom cards. Same deal as last time. If you want to meet the people personally responsible for these cards, you can join the Discord. Those who I know and have their info, it's linked in the description down below. And tomorrow, we actually, if I can get the accreditation and everything right, we will have a full set of explicitly themed custom cards. These are kind of all over the place. Some of them are Marvel characters, some of them are anime. Tomorrow would be a whole custom set designed by one of my users, which is super cool. So credit will be down below. I don't have these each credited individually, but like I say, if you join the Discord, you can just talk to the artist directly. It's even better. Okay, so we'll get into it. First up, we got Prowler. When this card is moved, destroy the lowest cost enemy card at the new location. It's a 3/3. This seems way too good, right? Like, it is the lowest cost enemy card, but even still, like, I don't know. This seems way too good at a 3/3. It's just like, I feel like okay, so it's a 3/3. Okay, we gauge this by my metric of how many times does it have to go right before it's broken. This doesn't have to go. This has to go right once, and then it's good, right? Because if you destroy an average 1-cost card is 2 power, that makes this worth 3/5 worth of power, which is fine. But if you destroy a 2 cost, which on average is 3 power, it's a 3/6, which is good, right? Usually 3/6 have drawbacks. I guess having to move it once is a drawback. But then, like, anything else, and it becomes just incredible. Also, it's the lowest cost card at the new location, not the lowest power. And so, like, sometimes there's that inverse of, like, it won't hit Shuri because she's a 4, but it'll hit Bishop because he's a 3. I mean, you don't play those cards together, but I think you understand what I'm getting at. This card is really good. It might not be broken, but it's very good. This is gonna get said a lot. It got said a lot in the last video. I don't know. I could tell this is a Marvel character, right? Because there's like spider people in the picture, but I don't know if this is thematic to this character. This is by Shaz. I'm not necessarily going to be able to credit all of these by name every time because I don't have them all remembered or saved. But this one I happen to know is by Shaz because he always puts multiple variants. He does, like, he really loves this custom card stuff. He loves getting into this. So he has 4 variants for this. I actually believe this is supposed to be a variant. I believe it goes this order. This is the base card, and then 3 variants. I also like the art he picks in a lot of his cards and in a lot of his variants. Those are all available on the Discord, and I believe also on his Instagram, which will be linked below. Okay. Next up, we got the Foreigner. A 3/4, on reveal, move 2 random opponent's cards to this location. At the end of the next turn, move them back. And 3/4. I really like this one. I really like the effect of, like, on turn 6, it's kind of a very, very high rolly or low rolly Magneto. But on most turns, it's just like going to interrupt their game plan. Like, oh no, I wanted to deploy a card here, but now it's full because 2 cards got moved there. Do I wait? Do I actually like how this ended up happening? And what I'll do is I'll fill one of the other lanes in the meantime so that card can't move back. Like, I don't know. I really like it. It might be too disruptive. It might be annoyingly disruptive, even if it's not that good. But I think the stat line and the effect, like, that you can't really guarantee, all you can kind of guarantee is that you are making one lane unplayable for your opponent for 1 turn, which is like what Spider-Man does, right? Yeah, it's a turn earlier, but like, it's also, yeah, I don't know. I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's a really well-designed card. I think this fits better than Prowler, in what Snap wants to do, wants to be. Big fan. And then there's the alt art, so you can tell it's by Shaz. And I like, again, I really like both the arts. I also think Shaz has an eye for, like, this being the card that would definitely, this is the art that would get printed on this card in the base game, and this is like an alt variant. I don't know. I feel like he knows like what Snap would use for their arts. He just got it. All right. Next up we got, okay, so this, I forget who this is. We had a bunch of anime ones, and Shaz is a weeb, but so are a bunch of people in my Discord. And now I'm in the point where, because this one doesn't have alt arts, I don't know if this is him or not. So again, apologies and accreditations all in Discord and, at the relevant Facebook and Instagram pages. But this is Hiromi Higurama, I think. Close enough. Okay. 3/3. Ongoing. Nobody can play cards that have more power than their cost here. Have more power. Okay, so they have to be vanilla minus. And it's mutual. Nobody can play them. Huh. Do I like that? I think I like that. I think I like that quite a bit. It feels like it could. So, okay, two things. One, it could hose some decks really, really hard, but you can only play it in 1 lane. So it's like, at worst they're like locked out of a lane. I don't know if there's any archetype it would be too good in. I'm tempted to say Lockjaw because you're playing so many. No, I mean, you couldn't play Wasp or Nightcrawler. Technically, neither of those cards fits this. Just Lockjaw. And then you couldn't actually take advantage of it. No, this is fine. This card's fine. There might be an archetype I'm not thinking of, but I like this effect. I don't know this character, but this, from the art, I understand why this effect is what it is. So I like that as well. I'm a big fan of this one. Huge fan. Okay. Hedon? Hi, Dan. If you're watching right now, hi. 4/2. When this card is destroyed, destroy a random enemy card at this location, then regenerate this card at a random location. This is such an anime card. God damn, the anime cards. Anime cards love having just walls of text for some reason. It's just a thing, like, because I feel like that's how animes are. I love anime, despite not knowing who this is, or the last person. I promise I really do like anime, but like a Hunter x Hunter custom set they'd all look like this. They'd all just have a million lines of text, whether you pick rock, paper, or scissors when you play Gon. So this card, I like it as a 4/2. It has kind of the same issue as Prowler, which is that, like, it feels like it isn't what Marvel Snap wants you to be doing, like, because Marvel Snap doesn't really like interaction, and certainly it doesn't like the idea of cards fighting each other, but like a 4/2 is quite a tempo hit. So the fact that you have to destroy this, like, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 times before you catch up on that tempo makes up for it. I don't ever see an effect like this being printed, but I think the power level is more reasonable than Prowler. But I don't think it's what I don't think it's what Second Dinner like envisions in a way that like this card I could see getting printed. So even though I think both of these are mostly probably fair from a numbers perspective, I couldn't see something like that getting printed. I guess that's what I'm getting at. All right, next up. Oh, Ex Nihil. I know this one is Shaz again because it's got 3 variants. And again, he's nailed the fact that like this would be the base card, this would be the chibi variant, and this would be like the ultimate variant. Like he's just nailed it. So what does this card do? 3/4 on reveal, -1 max energy. At the end of each turn, transform a random friendly card here into an evolved life form. And the evolved life forms are also 3/4. They're vanilla, so your Patriots would affect them. I don't know what other properties they would have, but the point is, you can turn your things with less than 4 power into 4 power cards, but you will only end up with 5 power total. Or 5 energy total at the end of the game instead of 6. So you're going to have a turn 3 and then another turn 3. And then a 4/5. We actually went back and forth because I feel like this could be better. This could get buffed. I feel like this could even, like, okay, hear me out. Like, you go Squirrel Girl, and then you go, like, Mr. Sinister, and then you play this. Well, okay, that means that on turns 3, 4, 5, your Squirrel and your Sinister clone are gonna get bumped up to 4 power. So that's 2, 4, 7 power that you've gained, and then this is 4 by itself. So it's like technically a 3/11. If that exact situation happened, right? It's technically like a 3/11. But you had to jump through a lot of hoops to make it a 3/11. At that point, does it need the -1 max energy? I don't know. I don't know if the -1 max energy is just there because it's part of this character. Like, if that's a thing that makes sense for what this character does. But, I don't know if it's necessary. I think for balance reasons, it's just good. It's like good enough. It's like, your opponent pulling your like thing that has more than 4 power into this lane, and therefore reducing it to 4 power and using one of those slots. I think that's a big enough downside. Like that this doesn't need its own downside. But I might be wrong. Maybe this would be absolutely abysmal to play against. But also it caps out that lane at 16 power, right? Like so if your opponent can put more than 16, they know they're safe, kind of no matter what. Like, unless you can do something very fancy and also high roll with it. I don't know. I think this card would be fine without -1, but I really like the design of it. I really like, again, I love the triple variant of it. Like, that's so cool. I really like this art. I would hate to pay 5,000 tokens for it, but I really like the art. All right, next up. Zoro from One Piece. I know this one. Hey, I recognize that one. A 4/9, pretty good stat line. After each turn, move this card to a random location. I don't know. I don't think this could get printed, right? Right? A 4/9 with what's technically a downside, but like, I don't know. It's a 4/9. It is after each turn, not at the beginning, so it can't get out of the way of a Shang, which would be way worse. But still, I don't know that I like this card, because it could also, like, you could play it not in your lane with another 9 and be like, well, you have to pick one now or hope that you get both later. I don't know. This is like a lot of stats for like a fairly minor downside. I think this could be like, I don't know, it's weird. because 4-9 versus 4-8 is almost a buff to go to 4-8 for reasons. I forgot to mention this yesterday. The Sentry buff is technically only a nerf in that one sense, that it can now get shanged. So that's something, but regardless, 4-9 is a lot of fucking stats. A lot of stats. I don't know enough about One Piece to know if this is something that Zoro would do. He's pretty powerful, right? Like, he's probably a 9 power. But yeah, I don't know. Overall, I think it's too good with the fact that we have move synergies, and I think this is being counted as a downside when it really, really isn't. And for that reason, I think it should be maybe like a 4-7. That might not be good. I don't know. It's too good. It's too good. Loki, a 2/2. On reveal, move all cards at this location randomly. This card's when the so I don't know. I think this is a French person, vaguely named Clipsy, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Same as every time I try to pronounce a new person's name on this channel. But they posted this, and I was immediately like, yo, that's really good. That's really good. I love that the art, like the art, they described it as the art like references the Ludo narrative of the effect, which is like, it's exactly right. It fits with the fact that like Heimdall is like a move card, and Heimdall is Loki's dad, right? I'm pretty sure of that. And so like Loki is a move card, but he's also very chaotic. So he's moving cards randomly, and also you don't know if he's a friend or a foe, so it's all cards. And then he's like a 2/2 because this effect can be really powerful and disruptive, so he himself couldn't have that much power. Like, technically, if he's the only card there at the end of the game, he'll win you that lane, technically. If that is a possibility, he could do that, but it's unlikely. But mostly I think it's just useful for, early play. No, this is so good. This is so good. I really like this one. I really like it a lot. I love the art. I love the effect. Nothing else to say. You can all see this. This is just really good. All right. Chameleon. Okay, I think we might be coming to the end here. So Chameleon, a 4/3. On reveal, copy the ability of a random card in your hand. We have Iron Lad coming out, who's a 4/6 with on reveal, copy the text of the top card of your library. Something like that. I might not be saying it exactly right, but I'm pretty sure that's the effect. So I don't know. I believe this means copy the text of a random card in your hand. Because I don't know if ability has a meaning in this game. Like, in Magic, abilities are like flying and trample. Some are called triggered abilities. Some are called like passive, triggered, activated abilities, and some are just static abilities. So I don't know if this means copy like the on reveal of a random card in your hand, copy the ongoing, or copy the text. I'm going to read it as, sorry, I believe this is the base card. I'm going to read it as copy the text of a random card in your hand, if only because it looks like that's Goblin up there, and Goblin does have an on reveal. Shocker doesn't have, that's Shocker, I think. Shocker doesn't have any text. Is that Kraven? That might not be Kraven, and that's Spider-Man. I'm going to read this as copy the text of a random card in your hand. And for that reason, I actually think this could have a few more stats, with the ability just being like, a build around. Like, you have to build around Iron Lad. You have to build around Chameleon. But like, it should be maybe like a 4/6 like Iron Lad. I know why it's a 4/3, because it's Absorbing Man is a 4/3. I'm pretty sure that's why this is also a 4/3, because Absorbing Man kind of has the same effect. And honestly, the ability for you to be like, oh, this is actually a 4/3 Iron Man now, that's like one of the cards in my hand, is really strong. I'm not going to deny it. You know, this is a 4/3 Wong. It's just a second Wong with one more power. All that's, you know, great use cases. I don't deny those things, but it is more random than either of those cards, than Mystique or like Iron Man, or, you know, just playing a Wong into a lane you want. And you have to build around it. You have to build around all those, but they're like kind of setup and payoff pieces in a lot of ways. That's not exactly right. Most of them are. It doesn't matter. You have to play around this and build around it way more, I think. And for that reason, I think that this could be a more aggressively statted card, with the understanding that you aren't always going to hit the card you want with this on reveal. So, okay. And then this is, again, pretty sure this is Shaz because it's got the base and then the variant. And again, absolutely nails the art styles of both of those. Just so good. Yeah, I'm a really huge, like, I wish this card existed. I could also see them printing this. This is a very Marvel Snap-esque card. I just think the stats could be a little higher. Like a little. Maybe even just a 4/4. All right, then we have, oh, you know what? Maybe it's a 4/3 because that's Spider-Man, actually. Maybe it isn't Absorbing Man. Maybe it's that Spider-Man is a 4/3, and that's why this is a 4/3. And if that's why, I actually really like that. I still think it could be higher, but I like that reasoning if that's why that is. That's cool. I've like bellyached about this, that Marvel needs more of that. Marvel Snap needs more, like, you know, little ways of telling lore points, and that could be a really good one. Okay. Captain Universe, a 6/4, and on reveal, if you're winning this location, +2 power to all your other locations. Oh, to all your other cards. Oh no, hang on. Hold up. When I saw this in Discord, and even when I was putting this slideshow together for this video, I thought that said locations, +2 to all your other locations. This says +2 to all your other cards. I think that might be too good, even as a 6/4. So how many would it need? So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it needs to buff 4 cards to be a 6/12. And anything more than 4 cards, this is worth more than a 6/12, which is kind of the thing we agree on as a good baseline for a 6-drop, especially in instances like this where you can spread that power around. I think that might be too... I think this should have some kind of a clause of, if you're winning this location, like Omega Red says, if you're winning by +10, I think this might have to have a number on it, because it's on reveal, so like it's static. So if you flip first, and you flip, and now you're winning because you flipped a +4, so you're winning. Buff all your other cards, and then your opponent flips, and now they're winning, but it doesn't matter because you already got your whole squad buffed up. Now that does kind of imply you're sacrificing this lane, but even so, like, even this just hitting 2 cards in this lane adds 4 plus the other 4, right? Because it adds 2 and then 2, so that's a 6/8 worth of power in this lane, plus all your other cards. That might be too good. That might be too good. This might have to either be ongoing, or this card's power needs to be adjusted a little bit to like a 6/3. I don't know. A 6/0 that gives +3 power to all. Is that just what's his name? Silver Surfer with more steps? And then I guess the other hard part is, as you adjust this number down, it gets better in negative decks. Because this card's already bonkers in a negative deck. This card's nutso in a negative deck. Alright. I'm a fan. I think it might be too good, but I really like it. I love the design. Bushman. And I believe this is the base card, because I think there's a variant on this as well. So 2/3. When this card is discarded, add it to the other... When a card, not this card, is discarded, add it to the other player's hand. I don't know why I had, so when Chaz shared this one in Discord, I thought it said when a card is discovered. Because I was like, oh, he's like in the bush. He's like he's chopping through the jungle discovering. I was like, oh, is that a new mechanic like that you're introducing to your? And he's just like, no, it says discarded. It just doesn't say that. I was like, oh, so I don't know why I have so much trouble reading this card. When a card is discarded, add it to the other player's hand. Like, I think this card is perfectly fine because I think as a 2/3, it's mostly going to do nothing. If you Lockjaw and Moon Knight, so you can draw 2 cards from your opponent over the course of a whole game for a 2/3, that's fine. It's kind of tech against the discard decks, but not really, like not in any meaningful way. Are you going to try to flood your opponent's hand? I don't think that'll work. Like, I think this card's perfectly fine because I don't think it's good enough. And I think that's like a good place to start. But I don't know how I'd change it because I think it needs to be a 2/3, which is basically the vanilla stats. I think it needs to be like, it can't like make each player discard a card when it enters and like therefore swap them. I like what this would open up possibility wise in the game, but I don't think it is itself good enough. But I think that's ideal. I think that's a really good spot to be at. And then of course it comes because it's Shaz. This is the base card, and this absolutely unsettling piece of art is the variant. This card, I don't like that art at all. Very good variant pick, and that is it. I'm clicking, and there's no more to the slideshow. So thank you so much for watching. My content today was not elucidating, enlightening, or enriching. I've been saying that a lot recently. But if it was entertaining, snap the subscribe button down below. Follow, like, subscribe. Join the Discord is a big one. Every couple of days we get a new member, and they're always such like fun, vibrant people to engage with. Everyone on the Discord has been so cool. And you can do cool stuff like this. You can ask me Q&A stuff for the next big reveal stream. You can submit custom cards for the next time I do, well, probably this 2 times from now, because I think the next one, like I said at the beginning, I believe the next custom card video I'm going to do is going to be on one of my members. He just has a full set of cards done. Like, it's a really cool set too. So I'm going to get the okay to actually share all of that, and then that should be tomorrow's video. But thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a great day, and I will see you all tomorrow.